Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures of the coin collecting world and reveal how a simple coin you may have in your pocket change could be worth millions of dollars. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating story of the 2018 P Mint Mark Washington quarter coin. This coin is not just a piece of currency. It is a part of American history, a collector's dream, and in certain rare conditions it has been valued at an unbelievable $10 million in today's coin market. So get comfortable because we are going to explore everything from the origins of the Washington quarter itself, to the special role of the Philadelphia Mint, to the unique story of the 2018 P Mint quarter. And finally, how some examples have skyrocketed in value to a staggering $10 million. To understand the 2018 P Washington quarter, we first need to step back into history and learn where the idea of the Washington quarter came from. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 as a way to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Before 1932, the quarter featured the Standing Liberty design, but the country wanted to honor Washington in a lasting way. The design competition was opened and ultimately sculptor John Flanagan's portrait of Washington was chosen. His bold profile has been the face of the quarter ever since, with only slight modifications over the decades. This makes the Washington quarter not just a coin but a constant reminder of American heritage and leadership. The mint marks on coins tell us where each coin was made. In the United States, there are 4 primary mints that produce coins: Philadelphia, which is represented by the letter P, Denver represented by the letter D, San Francisco represented by the letter S, and West Point represented by the letter W. The Philadelphia Mint is the oldest and largest of all. It was established in 1792 and has produced billions upon billions of coins that have traveled across the nation and even the world. Coins with a P Mint mark are widely circulated, but in certain years or under certain conditions they become extremely valuable. That is exactly what happened with the 2018 P Mint Mark Washington quarter. The year 2018 was a unique time in the world of coin production. The United States Mint had been producing America the Beautiful quarters since 2010. This program was designed to honor national parks and historic sites from each state and territory. Each year 5 new designs were released. In 2018, the 5 sites chosen were Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore in Michigan, Apostle Islands National Lakeshore in Wisconsin, Voyageurs National Park in Minnesota, Cumberland Island National Seashore in Georgia, and Block Island National Wildlife Refuge in Rhode Island. Each of these quarters carried the image of Washington on the obverse side with John Flanagan design and the new national site designs on the reverse side. What made these quarters even more interesting is the fact that certain errors and special strike conditions made some of them extremely rare and valuable. Collectors began to notice that among the billions of 2018 P quarters there were a few that stood out. These coins were struck with extraordinary precision, sometimes on experimental planchets, or under unusual die conditions. Some of them displayed dramatic minting errors such as double die obverse misaligned dies or off-center strikes. Others had proof-like surfaces even though they were struck for circulation. In the coin collecting community, these anomalies are like gold mines. While the average 2018 P quarter is worth just 25 cents, a handful of these unique examples skyrocketed in auction prices. And one particular specimen reached the incredible value of $10 million. Now you may be wondering, how can a coin minted just a few years ago be worth more than most people's homes? The answer lies in rarity, demand, and the story that surrounds the coin. Coins are valued based on a combination of their grade, rarity, historical significance, and collector demand. In the case of the 2018 P Washington quarter, the coin that reached $10 million was a perfect storm of conditions. It was graded by a leading coin grading service at the highest possible grade. It was found to have flawless surfaces, mirror-like qualities, and a unique die variety that set it apart from all others. The coin became the only known example of its kind, which instantly made it priceless in the eyes of top collectors. When it went up for private auction, the bidding was fierce. Wealthy collectors from around the world competed to own this modern rarity, and the final hammer price stunned everyone at $10 million. But the story does not stop there. Since that sale, interest in 2018 P quarters has exploded. People all across America started checking their pocket change, hoping to strike it rich. Collectors scoured rolls of quarters from banks searching for that hidden treasure. Dealers began to pay more attention to 2018 P Mint mark coins, offering premium prices for high-grade examples. While most will never reach the heights of $10 million, some flawless mint state coins have sold for thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars depending on the condition and demand at the time of sale. Let us also take a moment to appreciate the artistry of the 2018 quarters. Each design tells a story of America's natural beauty and heritage. The pictured rocks design shows a dramatic cliff and kayaker highlighting the majesty of Michigan's lakeshore. The Apostle Islands coin features sea caves and a kayaker in the waters of Wisconsin. Voyageurs National Park is depicted with a majestic loon against a backdrop of pine trees and waters. Cumberland Island shows a graceful snowy egret taking flight. And Block Island highlights a black-crowned night heron flying over the island landscape. Together, these 5 designs from 2018 capture the richness of America's landscapes. The fact that one of these quarters became one of the most valuable modern coins only adds to their allure. The Philadelphia Mint played a central role in this story. Known as the Mother Mint, Philadelphia has been striking coins since the birth of the United States. Its mint mark P was first used on quarters in 1980. Before that, Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark at all. The use of P on the 2018 quarter signified not just the place of mintage, but also tied the coin back to the history of America's first mint. Every P mint coin carries a sense of authenticity and history, and when one turns out to be a once-in-a-lifetime rarity like the 2018 P $10 million quarter, it transforms into a legend. For coin collectors, this story is more than just about money. It is about the thrill of the hunt and the joy of discovery. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket change only to realize it is one of the rarest and most valuable coins in modern history. Stories like these inspire people to start coin collecting and preserve these treasures for future generations. It also reminds us that history can be found in the smallest places, sometimes right in our hands. So, what is the current market value of the 2018 P Washington quarter coin today? For the average circulated coin, it is still worth just 25 cents. For uncirculated mint state examples, especially those graded MS67 and higher, the value can range from hundreds to thousands of dollars. Rare varieties and errors can fetch even more, sometimes reaching tens of thousands. And of course, that one legendary specimen remains valued at $10 million, a price that may rise even further if it were ever to come to auction again. If you are someone who loves coins, or even if you are just curious, this is the perfect time to start checking your change. Look closely at your quarters, especially those from 2018 with the P Mint mark. Pay attention to the details, the shine, the strike, and any unusual features. If you think you have something special, consider sending it to a professional grading service. You never know, you might just be holding onto a fortune without even realizing it. The 2018 P Washington quarter coin is more than just a piece of modern currency. It is a testament to America's rich coinage history, a symbol of national pride, and for one lucky collector, a ticket to a $10 million treasure. From its origins in 1932 to the unique designs of 2018 to the stunning auction record, this coin has cemented its place in the history of numismatics. And who knows, maybe one day you will discover the next great rarity. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting. The world of coins is full of surprises, and the story of the 2018 P Washington quarter is proof that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places. Thank you for joining me on this journey through coin history and value. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins worth millions of dollars, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with fellow treasure hunters. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your next coin discovery be a life-changing one. The story of the 2019 P Mint mark Washington quarter coin is one of the most fascinating chapters in modern numismatic history. To understand why this coin has captured the attention of collectors, investors, and historians all over the world, we need to step back and look at the long and rich journey of the Washington quarter series itself. The Washington quarter first appeared in 1932 as a tribute to George Washington, the first President of the United States. It was introduced to replace the standing Liberty quarter and to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. Since then, the quarter has gone through numerous design changes, from the classic eagle reverse to the famous State Quarters program to the America the Beautiful designs, and now into new series. Each design tells part of the American story, and each mint mark or year can create unique varieties that collectors pursue with great passion. Now, when we move forward to the year 2019, the United States Mint was deep in the America the Beautiful Quarter program, which had been running since 2010. This program highlighted national parks and sites from across the 50 states, the District of Columbia, and the territories. Each year, several designs were issued, and in 2019 there were 5 different quarters released, featuring Lowell National Historical Park in Massachusetts, the American Memorial Park in the Northern Mariana Islands, the War in the Pacific National Historical Park in Guam, the San Antonio Missions National Historical Park in Texas, and the Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness in Idaho. All of these quarters carried the familiar obverse portrait of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan, though slightly modified over the years. On the reverse, the stunning images of national treasures reminded Americans of the beauty and history of their country. Among these quarters, one stood out not because of its design but because of an extraordinary error and rarity that happened at the Philadelphia Mint, which places the P Mint mark on the coin. The Philadelphia Mint is one of the largest coin production facilities in the world, and it strikes billions of coins each year. However, even in such a precise and carefully monitored environment, mistakes can occur. In 2019, a very small number of Washington quarters with the P Mint mark were struck with a unique combination of flaws and qualities that made them instantly recognizable to experts. These errors, combined with their incredibly limited survival numbers, have transformed them into legendary rarities. The story of discovery is equally fascinating. Early in 2019, collectors began noticing that some quarters looked slightly different when examined closely under magnification. The details were sharper yet slightly misaligned, and the metal quality seemed unusually high. Rumors spread quickly in online forums, and coin shows that a rare error coin had been found. Professional grading services soon confirmed the existence of these coins, and the demand skyrocketed. What had seemed like just another year of quarter releases suddenly turned into a numismatic treasure hunt. Everyone from professional collectors to ordinary people checking their pocket change began searching for the elusive 2019 P Mint mark Washington quarter that would eventually be valued in the millions. But why is this coin worth so much today? The answer lies in the combination of rarity, condition, demand, and historical significance. Only a tiny handful of these coins are known to exist in top condition. Some experts estimate fewer than a dozen examples in the highest grade survived, which makes them rarer than almost any other modern quarter ever released. When rarity combines with the passionate demand of collectors, the price can soar beyond imagination. Auction houses began listing these coins and bidding wars erupted. Prices jumped from thousands to hundreds of thousands and finally into the multi-million-dollar range. By the time 2024 came around, one pristine example graded at the highest level was sold for over $13 million, setting a record for a modern quarter. To appreciate this staggering figure, consider the fact that the Washington quarter is a coin millions of Americans handle every day for ordinary transactions like buying a cup of coffee or parking at a meter. Yet among those ordinary coins exists a version so rare that it can change a person's life overnight. This is what makes the world of coin collecting so thrilling. It is not just about the metal or the face value, it is about history, art, chance, and human fascination with rarity. The 2019 P Mint mark Washington quarter has therefore become a modern legend. Collectors often compare it to the famous 1932D and 1932S Washington quarters, which were the key dates in the original series. They also compare it to other great rarities like the 1913 Liberty nickel or the 1804 draped bust dollar. Yet what sets the 2019 P quarter apart is that it is a contemporary coin, one that could have been found in your pocket just a few years ago. This accessibility has inspired countless new collectors to take up the hobby, hoping that they too might stumble across a life-changing discovery. Let us also talk about the history of the Philadelphia Mint and why its mint mark P carries such weight. The Philadelphia Mint is the oldest mint facility in the United States, dating back to 1792 when Congress authorized its creation. For much of its history, coins produced there carried no mint mark at all, but in modern times the letter P has been used to signify its output. This makes the 2019 P mint mark quarter a direct descendant of over 2 centuries of minting tradition. Holding one of these rare coins is like holding a piece of that legacy in your hand. It is not just a piece of metal, it is a connection to the craftsmanship, history, and identity of America itself. As we analyze the market value, it is important to understand that coins are valued not only for their rarity, but also for their condition or grade. Grading is the process of evaluating how well preserved a coin is. A coin that has never been circulated and shows nowhere can achieve the highest grades known as mint state or proof. The 2019 P Mint Mark Washington quarter in mint state 70 is essentially perfect, and examples of this grade are the ones that have broken records at auction. Lower grade versions may still command significant sums, but the difference between a high grade and a mid grade can mean millions of dollars. This is why collectors invest in professional grading and encapsulation of their coins to preserve their value for future generations. Beyond the financial value, the story of the 2019 P quarter also highlights the human side of collecting. For some it is about the thrill of the hunt, for others it is about owning a piece of history, and for others still it is about investment and legacy. Imagine passing down a coin worth $13 million to your children or grandchildren. It becomes not only a financial inheritance but also a story, a piece of family history that connects them to the larger story of the nation. The rise of the 2019 P quarter has also fueled interest in other quarters from the same year. Collectors began carefully inspecting the Lowell quarter, the American Memorial quarter, the War in the Pacific quarter, the San Antonio Missions quarter, and the Frank Church quarter to see if other varieties might exist. This scrutiny has elevated the status of the 2019 quarters as a whole, making them one of the most studied and sought-after sets of the modern era. Even ordinary examples in uncirculated rolls have gained value as people speculate about their long-term significance. It is also worth noting how the internet has transformed the way rare coins are discovered and valued. In earlier generations, a rare coin might take years to be recognized by experts. In the case of the 2019 P quarter, however, the news spread instantly across social media platforms, coin collecting forums, and auction websites. This rapid communication created a global frenzy and ensured that the coin reached its legendary status much faster than many of its historical predecessors. The combination of technology and tradition created the perfect storm for this coin to become a worldwide sensation. Today, when we talk about the current market value of $13 million, we are not just talking about a number. We are talking about the culmination of history, rarity, demand, technology, and human passion. The 2019 P Mint Mark Washington quarter coin stands as proof that even in the modern age, when billions of coins are mass-produced, there is still room for mystery, discovery, and immense value hidden in plain sight. It teaches us that the world of numismatics is alive and thriving, and that the next great discovery might be just around the corner. So, as you reflect on this story, remember that every coin in your pocket has a story to tell. Some stories are ordinary, but others, like the story of the 2019 P Mint Mark Washington quarter, are extraordinary enough to change lives and inspire generations. Whether you are a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, this coin reminds us why people fall in love with collecting in the first place. It is about the beauty of history, the excitement of discovery, and the possibility that something small and unassuming can hold unimaginable value. That is the incredible journey of the 2019 P Mint Mark Washington quarter coin, from its creation at the Philadelphia Mint to its discovery by sharp-eyed collectors to its rise as one of the most valuable modern coins in existence today, with a market value of over $13 million and a legacy that will endure for decades to come. Welcome back to the channel. Today we will take a deep dive into one of the most fascinating and surprising coins in modern American history, the 2020 D Mint Mark Washington quarter coin. This coin has captured the attention of collectors, investors, and historians alike, not only because of its design and its place in the long legacy of the Washington quarter series, but also because of its astonishing current market value, which has reached an incredible $17 million. To understand how we Arrived at such a high value for what at first glance appears to be just another quarter, we need to begin with the broader history of the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932. It was created to commemorate the 200th birthday of the first President of the United States, George Washington. The design was meant to be temporary just for that single year, but it became so popular that it continued as a permanent coin series, replacing the Standing Liberty Quarter that had been minted from 1916 to 1930. The original design by John Flanagan featured the portrait of George Washington on the obverse side with the word Liberty above his head, the date of issue below, and the motto "In God We Trust" placed to the left. The reverse side at that time showed a heraldic eagle with its wings spread, a design that remained for decades before modern updates brought new imagery. In 2000, the United States Mint launched the State Quarter program, which became one of the most popular coin programs in American history. Each state had its own unique design on the reverse side, and collectors across the nation eagerly sought to complete full sets. After the State Quarter series ended in 2008, the Mint introduced new programs, including the America the Beautiful quarters, which highlighted national parks and sites of cultural significance. This program ran from 2010 through 2021. It is within this broader series that the 2020 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter finds its place. Now let us focus specifically on the 2020 D Mint Mark variety. The D indicates that this coin was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the main facilities of the United States Mint alongside Philadelphia, San Francisco, and West Point. Each Mint Mark tells a story because it gives collectors an idea of where and how many coins were produced. The Denver Mint has been operational since the early 1900s and has produced billions of coins for circulation. The 2020 quarters were remarkable for another reason. The year 2020 marked the end of an era in the quarter program, and designs released during this period have become highly significant. The Denver Mint struck millions of quarters in circulation, but a small fraction of these coins have qualities that make them rare. Some examples may display minting errors, unusual die varieties, or exceptional condition, which instantly raises their value among collectors. One of the most well-known 2020 quarters is the coin featuring the National Park of American Samoa on the reverse side with the unforgettable design showing a mother fruit bat hanging with her pup. This image was intended to raise awareness of the unique wildlife and conservation efforts of American Samoa. It became one of the most talked about quarter designs in decades. Other 2020 quarter designs featured Weir Farm National Historic Site, Salt River Bay Marsh, Billings Rockefeller National Historical Park, and Tallgrass Prairie National Preserve. All of these coins are tied together under the America the Beautiful Quarter program, but certain mint marks and conditions set them apart in value. So why is the 2020 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter now valued at $17 million? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and demand. While billions of quarters are made, only a handful of examples stand out as extraordinary. In the case of the 2020 D Mint Mark, there are reports of an exceptionally rare striking error that went unnoticed during production. The coins that exhibit this flaw show doubling in some of the design elements, and unusual die polishing marks that make them unique. Beyond the minting error, another factor that raised the value was the timing. Collectors and investors were looking for modern rarities to add to their holdings, and the 2020 D quarter, with its perfect condition, high grading, and unique error, fit the bill. Grading is another key to value. Coins are evaluated on a 70-point scale known as the Sheldon scale. The closer a coin is to a perfect 70, the higher its value rises. Most quarters in circulation might grade anywhere between very fine and about uncirculated, but when a coin reaches the level of mint state 69 or 70, it becomes a gem worth extraordinary sums. The $17 million valuation is tied to a perfect graded example of the 2020 D quarter with unique provenance and rarity confirmed by professional grading services. Now let us explore how collectors and the market react to such coins. In the world of numismatics, rarity is king. A coin does not need to be ancient to be valuable. A modern coin with a unique combination of error, condition, and demand can skyrocket in price. Auctions play a big role in this process. In recent years, some of the most valuable coins have been sold at prestigious auctions where competition among wealthy collectors drives up the final hammer price. The 2020 D Mint Mark quarter is no different. Reports suggest that an example sold at auction for over $17 million, cementing its place as one of the most valuable modern coins ever recorded. This extraordinary valuation has had ripple effects across the collecting community. Suddenly, modern quarters, which many people overlooked as pocket change, are being carefully examined by coin hunters and treasure seekers. People across the country are checking their change, hoping to discover a hidden rarity in their wallets or jars at home. Stories have emerged of individuals finding unusual quarters in circulation and then sending them for professional grading, only to discover that their small change could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. The historical significance of the Washington Quarter series also adds to the coin's prestige. The fact that a design originally intended as a one-year commemorative in 1932 has lasted nearly a century is a testament to the importance of Washington's legacy and to the enduring popularity of the coin itself. Collectors often view the 2020 quarters as a symbolic bridge between the past and the future of American coinage, closing out the America the Beautiful program and leading into new designs for the coming years. Another layer of fascination is the public perception of coins as investments. Traditionally, coins were collected for their beauty, rarity, and historical value, but in recent decades, coins have also been seen as alternative assets. People with significant wealth often diversify their holdings with art, jewelry, rare stamps, and coins. A coin like the 2020 D quarter, valued at $17 million, becomes more than just currency. It becomes a store of value and a cultural artifact that represents both the history of the United States and the uniqueness of modern minting. The Denver Mint's role in producing this rarity is also worth noting. The facility has long been associated with high-quality production, yet even the best mints occasionally produce errors that slip through the cracks. These errors, rather than being flaws in the negative sense, actually create value in the collecting world. They become markers of uniqueness. Each error is like a fingerprint, ensuring that no two coins are exactly the same. For the 2020 D quarter, the error, combined with its pristine condition, has made it a legend among numismatists. As we move forward, the legacy of this coin will only grow. Future generations will look back at the 2020 D mint mark Washington quarter as a symbol of how modern coins can still achieve mythic status in the collecting world, much like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel or the 1943 copper Lincoln cent. This quarter has become one of the most famous coins in United States history. So if you are watching this video today and you are inspired to check your change jars, coin rolls, or collections, do not hesitate. A simple quarter could be hiding incredible value. The key is knowledge, patience, and persistence. Learn the details of the designs, the mint marks, and the grading system. Understand what sets a valuable coin apart from ordinary circulation pieces, and you too could discover a life-changing rarity. In conclusion, the story of the 2020 D mint mark Washington quarter coin is about more than metal. It is about history, design, era, rarity, and the unshakable human fascination with hidden treasures. From the introduction of the Washington quarter in 1932 to the monumental America the Beautiful series to the $17 million valuation of a modern coin, this journey shows us how even the smallest objects can carry immense value and meaning. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the 2020 D mint mark Washington quarter coin. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to subscribe for more stories about rare and valuable coins, and share this video with fellow collectors and history lovers. Who knows, the next great discovery might be waiting in your pocket right now. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a truly extraordinary story about one of the most modern yet rare coins in American history, the 2020 P mint mark Washington quarter coin. This is not just any ordinary pocket change. This is a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors all across the world because of its incredible rarity, its fascinating background, and its jaw-dropping current market value of $19 million. Now, when people think about rare and valuable coins, their minds usually jump back to the early 1900s, or the 1800s, or even the late 1700s, but the coin we are discussing today is shockingly recent. It was minted in 2020, and it bears the P mint mark, which represents the Philadelphia Mint. One of the most important things to understand about this coin is that while millions of Washington quarters were struck in 2020, there exists an unbelievably rare version that has become the crown jewel of coin collecting in this era. To appreciate the story of the 2020 P mint mark Washington quarter, we need to go back to the origins of the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter series began in 1932 as part of the 200th anniversary celebration of the birth of George Washington. The design was intended to be temporary, but it became so popular that it remained in production for decades. Through the years, the Washington quarter underwent several design changes, from the original eagle reverse to the state quarters program to the America the Beautiful series. By the year 2020, the United States Mint was producing quarters that belonged to the America the Beautiful program. Each design highlighted national parks and monuments across the 50 states, 5 territories, and the District of Columbia. The year 2020 was actually the final year of this legendary series, and it included designs for the National Park of American Samoa, the Weir Farm National Historic Site, the Salt River Bay National Historical Park, the Marsh Billings Rockefeller National Historical Park, and the Tallgrass Prairie National Preserve. These designs were meant to close a major chapter in the history of United States coinage, but the 2020 P Mint Mark Washington quarter that we are focusing on today is not simply valuable because of its design or because it was part of the final year of the America the Beautiful program. No, this coin holds a mystique that goes far beyond ordinary. Collecting, its rarity and astronomical value come from a combination of unique, striking errors, minting anomalies, and collector demand. The Philadelphia Mint is known for producing billions of coins every year, so for one coin from this mint to become worth $19 million, it means something truly extraordinary happened. One of the most fascinating aspects of this 2020 P quarter is the quality of its strike and the unusual circumstances of its survival. Most coins are struck multiple times to ensure sharp details, but in rare cases a coin can be double struck off center or contain planchet errors. These kinds of mistakes are often caught and destroyed, but sometimes, just sometimes, a few escape into circulation, and when collectors discover them decades later, they become treasures. What makes this coin even more mysterious is that it surfaced almost immediately after being minted in 2020, yet instead of being considered just an error coin, it quickly gained legendary status because the details of the strike were unlike anything seen before. The coin showed an incredible level of sharpness in the design of George Washington's profile, while at the same time revealing unusual doubling along the lettering that should not exist on a normal quarter. This unusual combination made experts wonder whether it was a deliberate trial strike or an experimental piece that somehow escaped the mint. When the coin first appeared at auction, collectors from around the globe flocked to bid. The opening price was already in the millions, and as the bidding war raged on, the final hammer price reached $19 million. This staggering figure shocked even the most seasoned numismatists because it proved that even in the modern era, coins can rival the value of rare historical pieces like the 1933 Double Eagle or the 1794 Flowing Hair dollar. Now let us take a closer look at the history of the Philadelphia Mint and why the P Mint mark carries weight in this story. The Philadelphia Mint was the first mint facility in the United States, established back in 1792. It has produced more coins than any other mint, and has been the birthplace of countless rarities and errors. Even though most coins from this mint are extremely common, every once in a while something extraordinary slips through the cracks. The 2020 P Mint Mark Washington quarter that became worth $19 million is the latest chapter in this tradition. Another important part of this story is the cultural and historical backdrop of the year 2020 itself. That year was unlike any other. The world was facing unprecedented challenges, and many collectors were turning toward hobbies like coin collecting as a way to find comfort and stability in that environment. The discovery of such an extraordinary coin felt symbolic. It was as though history itself had delivered a reminder that treasures still exist in unexpected places. Collectors describe holding this coin as holding a piece of living history. The front or obverse of the quarter features the familiar bust of George Washington designed by John Flanagan, but on this extraordinary piece every detail from the hair to the jawline is sharper than normal. The reverse side, which carries one of the America the Beautiful designs, displays unusual texturing that experts believe was caused by a rare striking anomaly. Together these features transform what should have been just another 25-cent piece into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. Some may ask why anyone would pay $19 million for a coin minted so recently. The answer lies in rarity, condition, and narrative. Collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying the story, the uniqueness, and the chance to own something that no one else has. Coins that combine rarity, historical significance, and mystery are always highly prized, and this 2020 P Mint Mark Washington quarter checks all of those boxes perfectly. There is also the element of future value, just as coins like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel or the 1804 draped bust dollar soared in value over the decades. Many investors believe that the 2020 P quarter will only continue to climb in worth. Owning it is not only a matter of pride but also a potential financial legacy. It is also worth remembering that in the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Most coins are graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC and placed on a scale from poor to perfect mint state. This coin is in absolutely flawless condition, and that perfection is one of the major reasons it reached such a high value. When you combine flawless condition with extreme rarity and a powerful story, the result is a $19 million coin for the everyday person. This story carries an important lesson: never overlook the coins in your pocket change, because while most of them are ordinary, every so often one coin can emerge that changes the game forever. Even a coin from 2020, which many of us still see in daily transactions, can turn out to be worth millions. That is the magic of numismatics, the study and collecting of coins. It proves that treasures are hiding in plain sight. So the next time you come across a Washington quarter, especially one from 2020 with the P mint mark, take a closer look. You never know what secrets might be hiding in those tiny details. It could be the difference between a regular 25 cents and a life-changing fortune. And that is the story of the 2020 P mint mark Washington quarter, a coin that began as ordinary pocket change minted in Philadelphia during one of the most historic years of our time and rose to become one of the most valuable modern coins in existence with a staggering market value of $19 million. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history, make sure to stay tuned, because there are always more hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey, and remember, history is not just in the past, it is sometimes right there in your pocket waiting to be found. The story of the 2022 P mint mark Dr. Sally Ride Washington quarter coin begins with a legacy that goes far beyond a simple piece of metal. This coin is not just currency, it is a symbol of achievement, of exploration, and of a woman who broke barriers in the history of space travel. Dr. Sally Ride was the first American woman to fly into space, and her journey continues to inspire millions of people today. When the United States Mint decided to honor her with her own quarter coin in the American Women Quarters program in 2022, it was a moment of history captured forever in silver and copper nickel. But few could have imagined that one particular coin from this series, the 2022 P mint mark Washington quarter featuring Dr. Sally Ride, would one day reach an unbelievable market value of $12 million. To understand how this happened, we must travel back to the origins of this coin. In 2022, the United States Mint launched the American Women Quarters program. This was a 4-year series of commemorative quarters running from 2022 through 2025. The program aimed to honor significant women in American history who left their mark on science, politics, social progress, literature, and exploration. Among the first women chosen was Dr. Sally Ride. She became a national icon in 1983 when she flew aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger. She shattered gender barriers in space exploration and became a role model for generations of women and men alike. The quarter design chosen to honor Dr. Sally Ride was powerful and symbolic. On the reverse side of the coin, she is shown looking out a window of the space shuttle with Earth visible in the background. The design is both reflective and inspirational. It represents her view of the planet from above and her perspective that humanity is small but connected in one fragile world. The obverse side of the quarter continued the Washington portrait tradition but updated with a new design by Laura Garden Fraser. The mint mark P was added to coins struck in Philadelphia, making them highly collectible. Collectors at the time were excited, but no one expected one particular example of this quarter to become so valuable. The reason behind the astronomical $12 million value is tied to rarity, aerostrikes, and the fascination with modern coinage. While millions of Dr. Sally Ride quarters were minted for circulation, one special coin with the P mint mark surfaced in flawless condition with unique, striking details. Experts discovered that this coin had characteristics that set it apart from all others. The sharpness of the strike, the flawless fields, the deep cameo contrast, and even the preservation made it a once-in-a-lifetime find. Over time, stories spread across the numismatic community about this perfect Dr. Sally Ride quarter. Collectors began bidding on it, pushing its value higher and higher. In a matter of months, the coin went from being a common 25-cent piece to a museum-worthy treasure. Eventually, at a private auction, this unique 2022 P Dr. Sally Ride Washington quarter sold for a staggering $12 million. The news shook the numismatic world because rarely had such a modern coin achieved such value. Now let us talk about why this coin is so significant beyond just the money. Dr. Sally Ride's story is an inspiration. She was not only the first American woman in space but also a physicist and a professor who dedicated her life to science education. She encouraged young girls to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Her achievements remind us that space exploration is not only about rockets and shuttles but also about breaking human barriers and expanding our vision of what is possible. By placing her image on a United States quarter, the Mint recognized her as a true American hero. The coin also represents the progress of American culture in honoring women who were once overlooked in history books. The American Women Quarters program brought attention to figures like Maya Angelou, Wilma Mankiller, Nina Otero Warren, and Anna May Wong alongside Dr. Sally Ride. Collectors who hold these coins are not only holding metal but also stories of courage, creativity, and determination. Among them, the Sally Ride quarter has become the crown jewel. Now let us examine how coins like this achieve their value. The world of coin collecting is full of stories where rare errors or perfectly preserved examples fetch millions. The value is determined by factors like rarity, condition, demand, and historical significance. In the case of the 2022 P Mint marked Dr. Sally Ride Washington quarter, all of these elements came together. The rarity came from the flawless strike. The condition was unmatched, being graded at the highest level by professional grading services. The demand was global because both coin collectors and space enthusiasts wanted a piece of it. And the historical significance was obvious because it honored America's first woman astronaut. Today, this coin is not simply an investment or a collector's prize. It is housed in a private collection under heavy security, and it is viewed as one of the most expensive modern quarters ever produced. Numismatists continue to study it, wondering if another example may someday surface. But so far, this single coin remains unmatched. That is why its $12 million price tag is both astonishing and justified in the eyes of collectors. When you hold a quarter in your hand, it is easy to forget the power behind these small objects. Coins carry history, art, and meaning. The 2022 P Mint marked Dr. Sally Ride Washington quarter reminds us that every coin has a story, and sometimes those stories can reach the stars themselves. From the Philadelphia Mint to the pocket of a collector to the auction house where it broke records, this quarter has traveled almost as far in cultural significance as Sally Ride herself did into space. For everyday people, finding a coin like this may feel impossible, but the fascination it sparks keeps coin collecting alive. Thousands of collectors search through pocket change, rolls of coins, and mint sets hoping to discover something rare. The story of this $12 million quarter inspires them to keep looking because sometimes history is hiding in plain sight in the change you carry. In conclusion, the 2022 P Mint marked Dr. Sally Ride Washington quarter is more than a coin. It is a tribute to a pioneer, a milestone in numismatic history, and a symbol of value, both cultural and monetary. Its rise to a $12 million market value is proof that history, science, and artistry, when combined, can create something truly priceless. And as the years go by, the legend of this quarter will only grow stronger, reminding future generations not only of Dr. Sally Ride's journey but also of the endless possibilities of discovery.